Hey yo YouTube, I am here to make another quick video on the side mission that Hyde and are doing. Um, when we last left off, we just got done killing a group of gnolls in their camp. And at first I say that he starts looting and stuff, but then he remembers what his mission is and he gets some of the gnoll blood and writes eyeball or draws an eyeball on his forehead. And then he goes and approaches the mongrel man that appears to have like a deflated head, an extra deflated head on its neck or shoulders. Um, I tell the DM that I approach like this, uh, kind of copying it off of ep.2. Um, I'm a big fan of MLW, and I've really liked what he's been doing since he went to SmackDown. But I tell the mongrel man that I am Hyde, left hand of the Cult of Many Arrows, and champion of Thanksgiving. And the mongrel man kind of has his head down, and he kind of like I can't remember his exact wording, but he pretty much like pledges his allegiance to me, and pretty much says he'll do whatever I choose, and I tell him I choose freedom, and he looks up to me weird, and pretty much I tell him that the cult of many arrows and the cult of Parisha are gathering a horde to uh, to carve out some land inside the Knoll and Troll area, and we're a scout party who is looking for allies and also tactical positions. And I ask if there's a Mongrel Man community around, and he says yes. And at first, like he asks if we're hostile, and at first I say not to the Mongrel Man, and then he repeats it, "Are you hostile?" And I say no. And he ends up agreeing to take me to this community. Uh, they tell me that this is a sacred site for the gnolls, and I ask about the giant skull. They say that the gnolls thinks that it is avatar of their deity. Ning Nang Yu, probably saying that wrong. The mongrel men say that they think that it's either a Yolton or a Titan. Hyde does seem to agree that it's probably some kind of deity considering how big it is. Uh, I do ask, I search the thing for treasure a little bit, but I don't find nothing. And like, I ask if they need rest, if they're well fed, and they say that they've barely are allowed to eat just enough to maintain them. And then he asks where the food is, and it's in the skull. Then Hyde pretty much says that we'll enjoy the spoils of our victory, and since most of us got dark vision, we'll wait till the sun goes down before we continue our mission. Uh, we do like let the cage out of, or let the other mongrelmans out of their cage. Apparently, the one that I've been talking to is named Lurch. Uh, and like he had like a guitar or like a violin uh, whenever we introduced him, so he's some kind of bard. And he pretty much takes us on the same route we went to get here. Um, Either I didn't catch it or I didn't remember it, was that we did travel a little bit before we got to this Knoll camp. But we ended up traveling for like a day and a half, part way through night, part through the day. Eventually, we come across some mines. And the mongrel man says, like, we should look at the mines real quick. He does bring up that they're rumored to either be former elf mines or former orc mines, which that's one of the things we're looking for, is former orc territory. And where we are, there's like this bridge with like these two like entrance points, and like I said, it gets pointed out that we should go check, search it. So Hyde does a climb check to go up there, and just jumps up there. And whenever jumps up there, like Because if I'm right, we ended up both doing like really crappy on spot checks before it was suggested for us to go up there. And when jumps up there like this, like skinny, like kind of looks like dirt is like part of his skin, like runs back, and Unhinged player at first is like, I attack him. And the DM kind of takes a second to like respond to it. Then he goes, no, I don't attack him. Truth be told, I was on the fence. Like the way it looked, but also the way it was set up. I wasn't sure if we were supposed to attack him. And since this was Hyde, I was definitely going to let him. If it was Johan or one of my other characters, I might not have. And we end up seeing like two more of them. One of them like really small. Uh, Hyde yells down like, "Hey, there's some creatures up, or there's this like like skinny like dirt creatures up here." And I want to say it was Grizzlack, the goblin that's on this trip with us, is the one that tells us that these are also mongrel men. Uh, and then I asked the one that we're with, like, do they speak? And he says that, or it might actually be Grizzlack who says this, who says they could interpret whatever I say. Um, I want to say I like ask how if their catman ain't far away. Um, I say something else, but I can't remember. But pretty much they say that they probably won't show us where the camp is, but these are definitely lookouts, so we're probably not. And as we're standing there discussing it, we hear like signal call, screech out, and the mongrel man that's with us tells us that that's a call that trolls are on their way. Um, the DM tells us to roll initiative and let's old school DSP this. Now, right here is a look at the three mongrel men that we ran into. Who I said kind of look. I want to say the goblin described them as more mutated like mongrel men. And at the start of the fight, Hyde jumps on top of this rock thing here, and is pretty much where he's at right there. Maybe a little farther back. I want to say everyone else isn't really up there at the start of the fight. And then on the other side of the map, like here-ish at the start, we see these four trolls. Somewhat of a better look at them. So, like I said, roll initiative. Looks like Chevy won. That's the Mongrel Man Bard. Gideon, Trolls, Hyde there with a 10. Then it looks like more Trolls, and the Priestess. And looking at initiative, it looks like this one here, who's kind of behind everyone, uh, they kind of run out in front, and with that, like all of our archers, Hyde, the Goblin, Chevy, are all are capable of long range, and we end up wearing them down quite a bit. That whenever comes along with the melee weapon, and to a point, has this thing a little better where he's power attacking this time. I want to say does his patented leap attack, which he always does, and ends up mopping it up. And besides us pretty much just cleaning him up real quick, the only thing real big happens, I think this one, again, who's under everything, Hyde ends up getting a critical hit, a rolled percentile. I believe it was at 83, and it was a shot to the gut, like the organs comes out, instant death. But between the three or four range attack players and Ur's hits being so hard, we pretty much go through these pretty quick. Near the end, Hyde does kind of like come down here and tries to get around for a flank, but ends up killing it before he gets there. And I know does like a round where he ends up getting like three crits, and I know one of them is like, yeah, a hit to the gut, but this one only stuns him. And I want to say that was the one that was the last kill there, and that's where the DM ends up closing shop. Um, Again, these are just little quick, maybe one small little role playing session to get into a fight. Um, Not long nights. Like this night in particular, like we ended incredibly early for us. Future predictions for this side story. Uh, this being orc territory might come into something. Like I'm actually thinking about having the wizard teleport Hyde to the orc nations and bring a representative. So I don't make any false promises. We do got a Band of Titans session to play tomorrow. With this Hyde thing being like a day or two after, I'm probably gonna have to rush recording that video so I don't lose the battle map if there even is one after the session. Um, but you want to find out, watch my next videos. You want to know the whole story, watch all my videos, and check you later.